Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. As we all know, Luis Enrique recently returned to Twitch and answered a lot of questions from his comments and had some very questionable answers, some normal answers. Let's jump straight into it. I'm a cooler and I've been a Barca socio for many years, but I will do everything to help my team PSG qualify. I don't care who's favorite, we're going to do what we have to do. We will be true to what we can do to be Barca. Again here, Luis Enrique, doesn't go into the games of who's favorite, we are the favorite. He doesn't care about talking, arrogantly or positively or confidently ahead of the game, comparable to Xavi and the Barcelona players. Oh my God, we are the favorite. Lamine Yamal says, I hope I score, the goal against PSG. Our players and our coach here doesn't care about that. All he cares about is to win the actual game. The talking, Luis Enrique doesn't like to do that. What he likes to do is to perform on the pitch. Absolutely love it. Which opponent would Luis Enrique want Paris Saint-Germain to face in the semi-final? On one hand, I would like a Spanish team like Atletico de Madrid, who already faced Dortmund at the start of the season. And in the final, Pep or Mikel Arteta. Luis Enrique jumping straight into the final here. We just talked about the confidence and all of that, but he can see it. He can see the future destinations and, yeah, Atletico Madrid and one of City or Arsenal in the final. That's what Luis Enrique wants. And again, it's the Spanish bias here, which, Luis Enrique loves his national team. He's a very Spanish Catalonian nationalist, and that's what he wants. He's already played in defensive midfield with the previous coaches. This could also be the case with us. But after centre-back, I see him more as a fullback than a midfielder. In our IDs, we want a midfielder who play as offensively as possible. We prefer to have a very technical and false number 6 with a great creative spirit. What Luis Enrique is pretty much saying here is that Marquinhos is a great defender, but he doesn't want great defenders in his midfield. He wants quick players that move the ball quickly, can run a lot, and he doesn't see Marquinhos as that kind of a player. Luis Enrique wanting to avoid playing Real Madrid. Tell me who doesn't want to avoid Real Madrid? Who doesn't want to avoid playing against Bayern? But who doesn't want to avoid PSG too? What Luis Enrique is doing here is he's saying that all the teams that are left in the Champions League are strong teams and that nobody really would want to face, including Paris Saint-Germain. And it's stupid question from the journalist, this dick writing about that disgusting side Real Madrid, and Luis Enrique just, has to say it straight up. Respect. Warren Zaire-Emery is one of the most talented and intelligent players on this team. He has the ability to play smart for his teammates. He's one of the best in our team. Great prop here for Luis Enrique to Warren Zaire-Emery, a player that has only grown since Luis Enrique came in. Valderrama has a very warm and very intense atmosphere. That's why I like to play in these atmospheres. I hope we can have a great match against this team, but it will be difficult. I haven't seen any easy away matches this season, but I'm sure it will be a good classic. Again, Luis Enrique doesn't want to be too arrogant. He says Marseille will be a tough opposition. He says that the atmosphere they can have at the Velodrome is very strong and can have effects on the players mentally and so on. But he's ready for the challenge, and so are we. I like this format and I think it's interesting to modify sometimes, but the number of matches must be reduced. We must not let the players rest so as not to affect the quality of the game. Luis Enrique is saying that he has, some liking, some interestment to the new Champions League ID, but matches has to become less, whether that's in the new Champions League format, whether that is in cup games, in league games. Something has to happen in Luis Enrique's mind because players are playing too many games. Another player who belongs to the club, who's on loan and who's doing wonders and is excellent. He's one of the best at his club and is a very promising young player. Xavi has the perfect qualities for our game IDs. It could be a very interesting option for us, but it depends on the clubs. Again, Luis Enrique talking very fondly and very positively about Xavi Simons, who will be a great player for Paris Saint-Germain next season when he comes. But again, he puts the decision at Leipzig and Paris Saint-Germain and Xavi Simons, obviously. He has decision to make as well. But we all know Xavi's coming back to PSG next season. And lastly but not least, the report that this thumbnail and video was pretty much made about Barcelona players who can play as starters in Paris. Ter Stegen, Koundé, Araujo, Ubarsi, Gundogan, Frenkie, Pedri, Gavi, Lamine, Yamal. Not only in Paris, but in Manchester City, Arsenal, Real Madrid. When I first saw this report, it obviously was not positive to hear. I don't think it's positive for the PSG players to hear. But one thing I've understood from Luis Enrique is don't take his words too seriously when it comes to press conferences. Because stupid question like this, Luis Enrique really doesn't give away anything about it. But what he's doing here is he's just propping the opposition. Sometimes Pep does the same, just propping the opposition. I don't know if this will have, any mindset, if this will change how, the Barca players feel or anything. I don't really know what's the plan by Luis Enrique here. Maybe just being too nice. I don't really get it because, I mean, sure, you could say Frankie could start, you could say Gundogan could start, you could say Araujo could start, but that's about it. Maybe Pedri on his good day and Gavi as well, but I don't really understand the reasoning behind Luis Enrique saying this, and me as a PSG fan, I don't want to hear this, especially when a lot of Barca Twitter accounts have taken this out of context and just, oh, Luis Enrique doesn't rate his team, Luis Enrique doesn't rate a player. But I don't really care what Luis Enrique said here. I've looked at everything he said in this press conference, and I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. Lucho, keep on doing your Twitch interviews. There are a lot of questions we want answered, and we love it from you. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of Luis Enrique's first Twitch live since like 2020. That's been it from your boy PSG, and as usual, allez Paris.